Right. We must manifest Max Verstappen aura. Let's do a double manifestation for both parties. Actually, we'll do all of them. Why not? Hang about. You're right, T. And Liam. Welcome. Lando is okay. Let's go, Lando. He is here to stay. Let's go, Lando. He is one of us. He's racing like a lion. Should that he be Dutch? I don't think that's a very appropriate tune at this stage. Shouldn't he be a lion? Whatever. Should he? I don't know what the song is. I've already forgot. Shout out copyright strikes, man. I'm about to get about 7. All good. Racing like a lion. Shouldn't he be Dutch? Left, right, Lando, he is on a side. Left, right, he's an orange knight. They call him Last Lap Lando. Can't wait to see you. I'll do that. Alright, final manifestation. We're going to use the red line. Well, considering I'm not playing the game, no. Decent. Right. As we manifest for the Oscar Piastri fans in chat as well, I'd like to say welcome to the final round of the season. It has been a long, 24 races. There you go. I remembered. And we are here with 12 points splitting Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and then I think Oscar's like 16 back. So he's still in it. By the way, the last 2 times that someone went into the drivers... When it was... the last 2 times there was 3 contenders in Abu Dhabi. The guy in third won. Kimi Räikkönen in 2007 and Sebastian Vettel in 2010. So it is not remotely improbable for Oscar Piastri to win today, as we manifest for Oscar as well. We've done all 3. I realise right now I probably look a bit, what could be the exact terminology? I'm not too sure, but put it this way. I've got a McLaren hoodie on and a Red Bull cap on. So, I don't really know, to be honest. Hang on. come alive. Ugh. Well done, Stream Elements. The amount of people that use this song, you should be fine. I still get copyright. I played the Checo Perez song for 2 minutes in one of my previous streams. I got copyright. It's not like a copyright strike, but I don't get monetization on it, which, to be fair, it's a live stream, so that doesn't really matter. But I still do get copyrights for it. Even playing it for, like, well, more than 7 seconds is a general rule. But, yeah, I am basically a double agent at this stage, because I'm repping both teams. Pretty much. I've been thinking about it. To be fair, before, I mean, we've only got about 4 minutes until we start, but I actually had a dream about this Grand Prix. I had a dream that Max and Lando get through turn 1 fine. Oscar Piastri and George Russell make contact around turn 1, and Oscar's suspension breaks and he has to retire. And then on lap 24, it starts raining, Liam Lawson crashes, Max and Lando end up at the back of the grid. They both charge through. By lap 56, 3 left, Lando's 4th, Max is 1st, and on the final lap, Lando overtook Charles to get 3rd and win the title. That genuinely had a dream about it. I literally woke up and I thought I'd missed the race because I woke up, while dreaming about the race. It was quite similar to Abu Dhabi 2021 when I was dreaming that Hamilton won, and then I woke up and it was actually halfway through the race. Luckily, though, I woke up after 3 hours sleep with the shits, so we're all good, we're here on time. Has it ever rained at Abu Dhabi? I don't think it's ever rained, not just in the race, I think ever. So, yeah. Probably not. But one thing that's going to be quite difficult is I want to watch the live broadcast, but at the same time, I don't want this because one of these is going to be far ahead of the... If this is ahead, I don't mind. But if this is ahead, then I'm going to have to add a delay, which is really annoying and long. So let's just hope that my live timing is ahead of the broadcast. Liam Lawson really did a Latifi. I suppose so, but in my dream, both Verstappen and Norris ended up at the back of the grid. So, I don't know, but I honestly, it's actually quite a fun prediction for literally any of the things I dreamt about that come real. I think obviously there are 2 plausible ones. The one is Lando getting a last lap overtake to win the title. I doubt it'll come to that. I think he'll either win or DNF, win the championship, not the race. And Oscar Piastri retiring on lap 1. That could also happen. My actual prediction, though, not my dream, but in general, is I think Max Verstappen storms off and wins this race, or he backs up everyone. Regardless, I think he wins this race with, very comfortable pace. But I do think that Lando will come through with the championship. I suppose that's why I'm wearing Red Bull and McLaren. I think Red Bull for the race, McLaren for the championship. I also predict that Oscar's going to basically immediately be a kind of blockade for Lando Norris. I mean, we look at the starting tyres. I don't know if they're accurate. Usually they're not, but we have the front 2 on mediums, Oscar on hards, and then everyone down to Hajar in 9th on mediums. So Oscar's going to be pitting a lot later than everyone else, going for the overcut, which means by the time that Verstappen and Norris pit, they're probably going to be miles ahead because of the undercut. The undercut is very good around here. Also, yesterday, I did a full race at Abu Dhabi, and as Lando Norris, and I managed to finish 3rd. So, there's 3 predictions there. There's my actual prediction of Max winning the Grand Prix and Lando coming 3rd and winning the title. Then there's the game's prediction in which Max come 1st in the race and Lando finished 3rd to win the title. And then my dream, where both of them are at the back of the grid, Oscar Piastri retires, it rains, and Lando does a last lap overtake to win. So there you go. Lando getting those 2 extra points last week was huge. I mean, in hindsight, there are it's like every single championship. When it comes close, there are so many moments where you can look and go, oh, you see, I mean, look at Max. If Max wins the race, Lando comes 3rd, the gap will be, 5 points? If you go back to Spain, when Verstappen turned into a bit of a mentalist human and purposely crashed into George Russell and ruined his race, Verstappen would win the title. And there's so many, I mean, you look at McLaren, take out, Canada. I actually did some calculations, not really, but just for the sake of it, for some fun. You'd include Canada, Vegas, obviously the disqualification. Canada was Lando's fault, but it was dumb. and Zandvoort, Lando would have won the title back in Qatar quite easily, maybe even Vegas. And then there's loads of arguments right now on social media about how Verstappen's never really had a competitive teammate, whereas Lando Norris does. I did some calculations and took out Oscar Piastri from sort of like, well, I make Norris finish ahead in every single race. Lando would have about 12 wins and 500 points if he had Tsunoda in his car, for example. But the formation lap is now underway, and basically, I've sort of made an oath to myself, if I don't lose my voice by the end of this race, then I didn't commentate good enough. So there we go. I dreamed of Hamilton winning, but Max won, who was second. I mean, if you go by that logic, then Max or Piastri's going to win, because I dreamt that... Well, I dreamt that Verstappen won the race, but I also dreamt that Norris won the championship, so you could look at... I don't know. But I do believe that my live timing is ahead of the Sky Sports broadcast, which means I don't have to add any delays, which is good for me. Good stuff. This is quite cool, though. We've got, you know, like I said, Red Bull hat, McLaren hoodie. Max is literally there, manifesting. If only I had a McLaren helmet behind me rather than a Kimi Raikkonen and Sergio Perez, but there you go. It's good to see Stream Elements is working, though. I've trying to get a YouTube chatbot to work for ages, and it just never did. But that's good. And, well, Max Verstappen makes his way around turn 15. By the way, usually the starts of the Grand Prix on these live timings is very dodgy. You'll see, like, nothing, and then the leaderboard will start going crazy, and it all will kick off. So, for the opening, like, lap or two, it's going to be very tricky for me to keep up, but I'll try my best, because, yeah, that's what I always do. Alright. Everyone manifest. This is it. 23 races down. 1 to go. 3 in contention. And this is not the time for my wire to get caught up. Move, dickhead! Oh my goodness. Move! There we go. Jeez Louise, come back. Oh, I don't think I've felt this much. The last time I felt this level of adrenaline for a Grand Prix was Abu Dhabi 2021. Probably because that's the last time that there was actually a championship at stake. And still, my stance is the same. No matter who wins, I just want it to be entertaining. As Kimi Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton line up their P16. Hamilton, Albon and Hulkenberg on softs, by the way. And, well, I think we can predict that Max is probably going to try and kill Lando on turn 1. If all of them run a clean race, Lando should be good. But let's have it. Oof, oof. I want to try and punch my monitor, that'd be bad. Here we go. Gaza in P19, Colapinto P20. Great season for Alpine, by the way. Oof. And you're about to see the cars go. Any second now, you're about to see it go mental. And we are away for the final race of the season! Leclerc up a place already. Someone's already dropped down. I think it was Ollie Behrman losing 2 places off the start. It does seem like the front 3 get away clean as Leclerc's up to 4th. Russell's dropped 2 places. Hamilton's gained 2. Go on, Lewis. But it does seem the McLarens are away. They're safe and they're good. Lap 1 is arguably the most important lap of the entire Grand Prix. Isaac Hadjar gets past Bortoleto. Hamilton absolutely cooking already. George Russell gets ahead of Bortoleto, I think. Oh no, they just switched places. That's fine. Oof. Half a second already between them. That's actually not too much, to be fair. Max Verstappen got a really good launch, by the way. Immediately blocks off Lando Norris, and it was actually very clean between all of them. None of them even got wheel to wheel. They literally all just went one by one into the corner, so everything's fine. Kimi Antonelli losing another place to what's his name? Alex Albon. That's his name. Carlos Sainz down a place as well. And Lando Norris has been... Lando Norris has been overtaken. I didn't even know that was even possible. Oh my goodness, Oscar Piastri overtakes his teammate. What's happened there? I'm about to see it on the broadcast, but that is ginormous. I mean, we sort of wondered if McLaren are going to use any team orders for this Grand Prix. And boss, within like 13 seconds, Oscar's already got his teammate and sent him packing. Max Verstappen completes lap 1. He's already got a 1 second lead. He's gone. He's done. He's won the Grand Prix. But Oscar Piastri goes round the outside of Lando Norris. What an overtake. Go on, Shan. I love that for him. That's good. And Lando also drops out of DRS range. All right, this is getting very exciting as Charles Leclerc is only half a second behind Lando. It's all kicking off here. This is incredible. What we're about to see potentially is Charles Leclerc overtaking Lando Norris, because Norris has already dropped out of DRS from his teammate. And I mean, as we saw from what McLaren said, they're not going to bother with team orders until the final couple laps and we know where we stand. Right now, Oscar Piastri's got a very good chance to, like, well, I don't know, really. I mean, if he finishes second and Lando finishes third, he don't really gain anything. But wow, what an opening lap as Lando starts to try and close the gap. But Leclerc and also pretty much everyone are right with him. Antonelli having an absolute rotter, by the way. Down 3 places. Biggest gainer is going to be Hamilton. It's going to be Albon and Lawson all gaining 2 spots. And then Antonelli is the biggest loser, losing 3 spots. Ugh. But of course, I mean, I know everyone knows at this point, but if Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix, Lando needs to finish 3rd, or else he loses. And he's currently in 3rd, behind his teammates' DRS, and barely inside of Leclerc's DRS. Lando's got to get out of DRS here, or else he's in trouble. Because, I mean, it's a Ferrari. Come on, mate. Like, surely. Verstappen sets the fastest lap 7/10 quicker than anyone else. And he's already flying again. He's only got a 2-second gap in 2 laps. This geezer is stupid. But Lando Norris sets the fastest Sector 1 of anybody. He might finally, realise, you know what? I know how to drive a car. And there he goes. Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon have been noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. We have died on the broadcast. We're back. We're dead again. It's really not what you want to see at this stage. Come on. I know there's probably a lot of people trying to get on right now, but come on. There we go. I mean, to be fair, it seems like there's just a ginormous DRS train. There is a DRS train going from Leclerc, or technically Lando in 3rd, basically, well, down to Gasly in 19th. So, I imagine once things settle down, there's a bit of field spread. As Lando was on a very good lap, he's kind of shut it up in Sector 2. Hopefully, he can start to push away a little bit and break that DRS. I mean, from now on, it sounds stupid. But, Lando just keeps it clean and stays where he is and he'll win. Although he's dropping massively back from his teammate on the hard tyre. I'm kind of, I don't know. I just saw that, to be fair, mate, with Russell's brake paddle problems. I just saw that. That's good info, though. I like it. But I'm confused because obviously, practice doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But Lando looked the absolute bollocks in both 1 lap pace and race pace. We go into qualifying. Yes, he finished ahead of his teammate, but he was nearly 3/10 behind Max. And I was expecting Oscar to be nowhere near contention this weekend because he's not good at low grip tracks, and that's what this track is. But it turns out Piastri might actually be better than Norris, which is incredible. I mean, fair play to Oscar, if anything. But we're now on lap number 4 of 58. Lando's only zipped. This is really bad for Lando. Lando is going to potentially lose out to Charles Leclerc here. Oh, no. If you want Lando to win like me, this could be really bad. I think Lando keeps the place, though. Ugh. Lando needs to, seriously, I know it sounds obvious, lock the fuck in. Because at this current moment, Leclerc is going to get him. Leclerc will get him at this stage. Because, he's getting closer and closer each lap, as Hamilton is now up 3 places, up into P13. How is the hard tyre beating out a medium? I don't think it is, mate. I think Oscar Piastri is beating out Lando Norris. I think Norris is just having a rotter in these opening 5 laps. I mean, look at the lap times. Lando was actually faster on that lap, to be fair, but I got team radio from Lando Norris.
And Lando, we're happy with this as long as you're comfortable. This will be plan A, target lap, plan A, target lap.
Okay, so it seems very comfortable on the McLaren pit wall. They're just going to go for it. I assume it's a 2-stop, right? Medium, hard, or obviously, well, just, I don't know if in any particular order, but those 2 tyres, 2 sets of mediums and a hard at the end. Surely? All right, Daniel. And Lando has finally broken the DRS of Leclerc. I doubt it will remain, and there you go, down to 0.7. He also sets the fastest Sector 1 of anybody by a decent margin as well, 17.9. Sticking close to his teammate, And yeah, I mean, to be fair, who do we really look at the moment? Lando seems to be the only one. It feels like it's the only person I'm talking about. Liam Lawson gets a track limits violation, as does Nico Hulkenberg. Of course, 4 of those, and you pick up a 5-second penalty. Sector times, it's fairly equal between everyone. I mean, Lando's got a really good Sector 1, but a really bad Sector 2, so that sort of evens it out. And I'm actually, to be honest, I'm really impressed with Leclerc. I know it's been 5 laps, but given how bad that car is and how difficult it is to drive, the fact that he's keeping up with Norris and still within his DRS, and he's diffing George Russell, I think that's very good stuff from Charlie. Lando sets his best lap of the race at 29.8, and it's still 0.3 slower than his teammate's best lap, and 0.7 slower than Verstappen's best lap. Verstappen, by the way, now starting to manage. He got the gap, he got the 3-second lead, and now he's just vibing, which is all he needs to do. That is literally it. Colapinto is 20. If he's not getting anywhere, he's not going to. I mean, I don't know him. I don't know Colapinto, and obviously I just sit here and watch, so I can't really give much of an opinion. But I just struggle to see why you would get him over, like, any other rookie. Because, especially after sort of like Texas, I've never really seen a driver be that slow, apart from, like, obviously the main candidates of your Latifis and Mazepins and whoever. He's been behind Gasly, like, forever, and I mean, in quali, he was, like, 0.4 off Gasly. Like, what are we doing? Also, forgot to play some sound in the background. That'd make it a bit better, wouldn't it? Current gaps, 2.3. From Max to Oscar, stayed about the same. It's basically the same between the top 3, but Leclerc again closing in. He's not really offering much of a threat because they're all just managing. Welcome to Formula 1, where you don't actually race. You just try and make your tyres survive, and then wherever you finish, wherever you finish. Coming across the line to start lap 7, Max puts in a 29.7, Oscar a 29.7, Lando 29.8, Leclerc 29.7. Leclerc is currently, you know, the fastest guy on track, which just sounds stupid, but it's true. And we have a team radio from Max Verstappen.
This is good for now, Max. We may wish to be going longer, so just keep on top.
Oof. Max might be trying the... to be honest, I'm pretty sure the undercut is really good around Abu Dhabi. First sectors, Lando's got the fastest of the top 3, but Leclerc's quicker than all of them, and Russell, actually. To be fair, one thing about this track is that Sector 1 is basically the only sector where you can gain time. Because look at Sector 1, every single driver was within a 17.9 and an 18.4. And that's excluding Colapinto, who's obviously really slow. And then Sector 2 is the same. It's because Sector 1 is 1 braking zone, Sector 2 is 1 braking zone, or 2, and Sector 3 is the only place where you can really start to gain time. Who would have thought the Ferrari is playing spoiler? Well, I don't want to... I mean, maybe I've got genetics of, like, a seer, or a, what do you call someone who can predict the future? But I had a dream where Leclerc was in 3rd, Norris was in 4th, and on the final lap, Lando overtook Leclerc. And also, in my 100% race yesterday, when I was driving as Norris, I overtook Leclerc on, like, the 3rd to final lap. So, Leclerc's just sort of making my prediction and dream come to life, which is a bit scary, to be honest. But on lap number 8, the lap times are... See, it's strange because, I mean, Oscar's just nearly put in his best lap of the race at 29.5. Max is on a 29.7. Lando's on a 29.8, and that's his best lap, which is 0.2 slower than Leclerc. And now Leclerc is within half a second going down the back DRS straight. There is a very real possibility that Leclerc could get Lando here. 0.3. Okay, I guess nothing happened. Oh, this live timing. I love it because it's free and it lets me do this, but at the same time, them pauses are the worst. Oscar Piastri, Team Radio.
Let's see if we can start putting Verstappen under pressure.
Earth. I mean, to be fair, Oscar probably has the pace. Like, that genuinely, like, Max, what's his name? What was I just saying? Oh yeah, Piastri probably has got more pace in the locker. And also Lando Norris sets the fastest Sector 1 of anybody and once again breaks Leclerc's DRS. I doubt it will last. Lap number 9 though, Verstappen 29.6, Oscar 29.5, Lando 29.5, Leclerc 29.6. No one else is even close to the top 4 right now. I am so impressed by Charles Leclerc currently. The fact that he's in that car as Oh, they're on soft tyres, aren't they? I was wondering why Hamilton and Albon and Hulkenberg have all pitted, but it's because of the soft tyre. Really, 9 laps is all they got, so they're going to do, what, hard until the end? I guess that could kind of work. Nightmares are dreams too. Yeah, but that wasn't a nightmare, because I want Lando to win, so... I know what you mean, though. But, like, yeah, genuinely... Oscar probably does have extra pace. It's just, well, so does Max, and probably so does everyone, actually. Welcome, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone just manages tyres. Another Oscar Piastri Team Radio saying Verstappen. Oh, I didn't get to read that. I don't know what that said. Ow. Something about, like, Verstappen's also picking up the pace or something along those lines. Lap number 10 is going to be a 29.4, 29.5, 29.5, 29.6. So, for the first time, probably in the race, Lando set a better lap than Oscar. And it's actually, like, pretty consistent. Every single lap, Lando does the best Sector 1, but a really poor Sector 2. Which leads me to believe that he's running a lot more wing. Or a lot less wing, rather. But I don't know. But Oscar's getting told about, something about keeping up the pace. Like, Verstappen's also going faster, which I suppose he is, to be fair. I mean... He's already extended his gap back out to 2.2. As Hulkenberg sets the fastest lap on some brand new hards. Lando Norris is still got Leclerc within a second behind him. I don't know if this is on purpose or if Leclerc's just the bollocks. I'm not too sure. The sad thing is that it's the last race. It went quick. It's mixed for me. It's both sad and it's also great. It's sad because I feel like this season is so underrated. I mean, I've only started watching since 2021. Obviously, since then, I've gone and watched, like, every single race ever. But there's not quite as much excitement when you already know who wins. And obviously, 2022, 3-4 was just only Max just winning everything. And he won the title at 4 races left. But when you've got 3 drivers in contention, and the way, like, it's swung about. I mean, you look after Zandvoort, Piastri was favourite. After Brazil, Lando was favourite. After Qatar, Max was favourite. I mean, obviously, statistically, Lando's favourite. He needs a podium. But on momentum and pace, Max is well clear. And that's the sad part, is that we're saying goodbye to such a good season. And, of course, the current regulation of car. I've never really seen the grid this close before. I mean, look, every single driver, apart from the bottom 3 and Colapinto, they're all quite close to each other. And actually both Alpines, to be fair. Gasly as well. But you take out them, the gap is 17 seconds. Which, you know, in 11 laps, that ain't a lot considering of, you know, field spread and dirty air and all that. But the good side of it is that it means that, you know, when this race is over and we go into the winter break, it means that when the new year starts, Checo Perez is back. You know? I mean, if Checo Perez weren't coming back, I mean, I've already said it, I wouldn't even be here streaming. But also, I probably wouldn't even care about next year. I'd actually be more sad that this year's over. But yeah, I don't mind it. Lap number 12 begins. It's going to be a 29.5 for Verstappen. Oscar Piastri sets his best lap of the race of a 29.4. Lando Norris a 29.8, Leclerc a 29.9. So Lando, 4 tenths back from his teammate. Again. This is getting boring. Watching it on TV is better. Man, well, of course it is. Well, obviously. Wait, the gap's gonna be... Wait. I didn't even know that. Right now, the gap between Norris, if it finishes like it is, the gap between Verstappen and Norris would be 2 points. Meaning that Kimi Antonelli, when he went off, literally got Norris the title. Because obviously, if that doesn't happen, they'd be on equal points. But Max would be on countback because he'd have more wins than both Norris and Piastri. That's incredible. What happens with a new car? Well, it's a whole new regulation. So the cars will be completely different. And there'll probably be a massive gap between those of the cars. Right now, because everyone's caught up, the gaps are really close. But next year, it's going to be like probably miles off. If Leclerc overtakes Lando and they screw up Lando and Charlie nails his strat, then Charlie is sure championship material. I think he's been championship material since 2019, but yeah. Lap number 13, 29.5, 29.5, 29.6, 30 dead. Earth. Leclerc must have made some form of mistake. It looks like sector 3. No. What did I... Oh, yes. No, I don't know. Leclerc just seemed... Well, he was like, what? 3 or 4 tenths off his normal pace? I wonder if that's that Ferrari's starting to let go a little bit. Can I go or something? Of course you can, mate. What are you asking me for? By the way, Hamilton and Hulkenberg and Albon, I know they're on brand new tyres, but they're setting some really good pace. 29.5, 29.1, 29.4. Earth. That is jets. Two personal best sectors. Earth! Earth! What's happened there? How's Oscar just caught... how did I miss these things? Oscar gains by like 4 tenths across the line. Oscar a 29.2. Max 29.6. Lando 29.7. Earth. See you later, Adam. That is some serious pace from Oscar. These hard tyres might be the one, you know, like, genuinely. I think it might even be worth maybe going for a one-stop. Because from what I'm seeing, we're 13 laps in, Oscar's pace is only getting better. Meanwhile, Lando's and even Max's to an extent are getting worse. Obviously, Max and Lando are managing, so is everyone. But look at the gap. Lando, 3.2. But, excuse me. Lando is now 3.2 behind Oscar. It was like 1.63 laps ago. And now it's 3.2. Earth! And Leclerc still hanging on. Russell 3 seconds back. I'm actually very impressed with how close it is. Throughout the entire field. I mean, obviously, there's a gap between Antonelli and Colapinto of 7.5 seconds, which is quite impressive because Colapinto hasn't pitted yet and he's dropped 7 seconds back. Currently lapping in the 31s. Why is he here? I don't know. Well, it'd be nice if he improves a bit, but I don't know. And George Russell comes into the pits only on lap 14, as does Hadjar. They must be going for a hard strategy. Do they even have that available? I don't think so. They only get one set, don't they? I feel like lap 14 is way too early. I mean, lap 14, you pit again on lap 14. That'll be lap 29. And then you've got to do 30 laps on the medium and the hards. That's twice the length of your medium stint. I'm not too sure. Oscar Piastri starting to reel in. Max Verstappen sets a 17.8 in the first sector. That is quicker than anyone. And Lando now, you know, starting to lap into the 30s. The hard tyres must be the bollocks. Or Lando's shit and Oscar and Max are just really good. It could be both. Like, it actually just could be. And I'm starting to see all of the medium runners come into the pits, which is very surprising. I mean, that just feels about, what, 5-6 laps too early? No idea. But Max Verstappen comes around turn 16 to start lap number 16. And he is going to set a 29.7. Oscar Piastri at 29.5. Gets the gap down to 1.6. Lando Norris 29.6. That is much better from Lando Norris. A really nice sector 3. Leclerc at 29.9. And Fernando Alonso, who creeps into the top 5 because of Russell's pit stop, a 29.8, which is also quite a good lap time. This is what I'm saying about how close it is between the field. Pretty much the top sort of 12 can all set lap times in the high 29s, just like the front runners. And only really Red Bull and McLaren have that kind of advantage, but it's only like 2/10. Can't believe I feel this tired. I should be, like, excited. And that was interesting. The McLaren pit crew came out, but neither of the McLarens came in. Now, of course, what's going to be crucial for Norris is when he makes his first pit stop, probably on the same lap as Verstappen, or maybe even a lap before or after, is that when he comes into the pits, he doesn't get traffic on the exit. Now, he has got a nice gap. I don't know what the pit stop loss is, but he's got a 20-second gap. There's a nice little buffer in between Antonelli and George Russell. So he wants to try and get in between the Mercedes. But of course, Russell is going to be absolutely rapid. He's 6 seconds behind Antonelli. So, yeah, Lando's got some pace. Actually, he's less than that, because obviously that's from the leader. So it's actually 23 seconds or 22 seconds. Now 21 seconds as the gap between... Oh, and Norris comes into the pits. There it is. Lando Norris making his first pit stop. Keep building this gap on Leclerc. It gives us choices, and then they immediately pit within like 10 seconds. Nice. Now, what McLaren need is a really nice, clean pit stop. That's what they need. They're obviously going for the undercut on Leclerc to extend the gap, as Leclerc and Alonso also pit as well. Ugh. And the website's died. Oh, it's come back. So George Russell goes through. Hamilton goes through. Okay, there you go. Right, so Lando Norris comes out right behind Kimi Antonelli. That is exactly what Lando Norris didn't need. What's the pit stop time? If it's slow, then we know why. He's still he actually gained on Leclerc, so I imagine it was actually a good stop. It's just, yeah, now he's got to overtake Antonelli, because Antonelli ain't going to pit for a while. It was a 2.1 second stop. Wow. You know what? They should have left him out one more lap. If they leave him out one more lap, Antonelli will be behind him. So now Norris is going to be on brand new hard tyres, getting him up to temperature, and he's got to overtake Antonelli, and then he's also got to overtake Sainz and Stroll. And he's just going to be stuck behind them, setting really awful lap times. So, I suppose overall it doesn't really mean anything, because Leclerc's the only real... Leclerc and Russell are the main contenders, and they're both there. But obviously, you know, Lando's going to be so far behind Oscar, as Oscar and Max are both setting mid-29s. Max has no reason to pit right now, because he's still just setting unreal pace. And because McLaren are the worst strategists, probably on the, you know, in F1 history, Lando now finds himself stuck in traffic with Leclerc gaining big time, because he's just stuck behind Antonelli and Carlos Sainz and Lance Stroll. We have a team radio from Lando Norris. That's probably what I just heard about the building of the gap.
And keep building this gap on Leclerc. It gives us choices.
Oscar, do you think we can do plan A? Thoughts on plan A?
I think it's doable for now.
There you go. Alright, Lando Norris, by the way, I'm sorry for missing that. He has cleared Antonelli, and he now makes his way after Carlos Sainz. He's 3/10 back. I hope Sainz makes it easy. They are good chums. And, you know, that's not his race. Come on. Come on, Sainz. Make it clean. Make it nice. Come on. We need a red flag. We really don't need a red flag. Well, you need a red flag. I don't. There you go. That's how supporting different drivers work. Oh, Lando Norris. See, that's what you've got to do to win a world championship. It wasn't that like, great, but he absolutely sent it on Kimi Antonelli around turn 5. That's what you've got to do. None of this hiding behind them, waiting for the perfect opportunity. No, you send it and you kill him. Not figuratively. And Lando's going to maybe have 1 or 2 laps to try and gain some time on his teammate and also Max Verstappen. But more importantly, he can now build a gap to Leclerc, who has still got to get past Antonelli as Carlos Sainz comes into the pits. But the top 2 are still setting mid-29s. But I imagine Lando could probably get into the 28s on a brand new set of tyres. And he's probably, I don't know, I was going to say he's going to clear Stroll, but I don't think he will actually, because Stroll is right behind Liam Lawson. Never mind, Lando goes through, there you go. And is he going to go for the double-double toilet trouble, get past Stroll and Liam Lawson, as Kimi Antonelli is fighting with his teammate, which you wouldn't expect considering they're on different strategies. And Lando Norris gets 2 cars in the space of like 4 seconds. I'm going to quickly take a look at this on the broadcast as Liam Lawson gets back past. Oh no. And it seems like Liam got the DRS as Lando goes back past. Can he make it stick? Come on, Lando. You need this. Yes, he's got it. So, Lando with the DRS. Stroll also has DRS. Lando goes around the inside of Stroll. Lawson blocks off Lando. And then Lando dive bombs Liam Lawson. Pushes him to the outside. They go through the hairpin. Whatever it's called. Hairpin chicane. I don't bloody know. And then down the back straight. Liam Lawson gets the DRS on Lando Norris. And then around, what corner is it? Turn 9. Sends it up the inside. I mean, yes, he is just overtaking much slower cars on much older tyres. The point is, he's not always done this. Think of Qatar. I know he couldn't catch Antonelli, but Piastri absolutely sent it onto Antonelli. Lando just sat behind him. And this time around, no, Lando is sending it. That's what he needs. And his final target is going to be Yuki Tsunoda. Once he gets past him, he's got a clear track ahead of him to start cutting into the lead of his teammate and Max Verstappen. Look at Lando's plank, it's sparking like a bomb. I mean, to be fair, Verstappen's plank was so low to the ground in Qatar, it was leaving a mark on the track. So I don't think McLaren are that thick. I mean, they're dumb. They're incompetent, they're not stupid. But we go on to lap 21. 2.1 seconds between the top 2. 29.5 for Verstappen. 29.9 for Piastri. That's his first, like, kind of mid-lap. That's because of a mistake in Sector 2, I believe. Half a second off his best. Meanwhile, Max is 3/10 off his best. Yuki Tsunoda does a 30 dead. Lando Norris a 29.5. So he's probably going to be within his 4 or 5 laps and he'll be able to catch up to Tsunoda. And this is going to be the kind of situation where they're going to try and make Yuki back up Lando, a bit like Checo when he backed up Hamilton. However, there are 2 massive differences. Number 1, Sergio Perez is a 10 times better driver than Tsunoda. Number 2, Lando is considerably faster in this car. Actually, I don't know. No, it's probably about the same, really, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Never mind. You're right, oh, I said that so wrong. FDC. There you go. That's correct. Streak 4. That's very impressive. That's commemorable. Well done. So 21 seconds is the average pit stop loss time. As we get a team radio from Tsunoda. Is it going to be the message of back Lando up?
Okay, we expect Norris to be near DRS within 1 lap. Or you can when he catches.
There you go. There's the message telling Tsunoda to back up Lando into Leclerc, who is only... I need to pay more attention Because Leclerc is only 1.6 behind Lando and setting better lap times. How? I'm so confused of this. This Leclerc pace is outrageous. Like, genuinely, it's impressive. Tsunoda takes out Norris. Honestly, it's very predictable. And now we get to see who is, you know, who's more important. Well, not, I don't know how to word it, but who's going to put on the better defensive, you know, job? Checo on Hamilton or Tsunoda on Norris? Both of them could be a potential maneuver to let Verstappen win the championship. 1.2 between Lando and Tsunoda. I'm surprised Tsunoda's, like... I mean, Lando's 1.2 seconds a lap quicker, so I'm kind of confused. It's probably just Sector 3, really, isn't it? Yeah, last lap he was 6/10 faster. And Lando is now within DRS of Tsunoda. This is where Tsunoda is going to massively back up Norris into Leclerc, into Russell. This is going to be very intriguing. Where can we watch the race for free? Well, unless you pirate it, I don't actually know. Unfortunately. Now, let's see. Does Norris make quick work of Yuki? Or does Yuki potentially win Max Verstappen a 5th title? Let's find out. We go in to turn number, turn number 5. Lando's going to have the DRS, sets the fastest sector 1. If he gets a good exit here from turn 5, he'll probably get Tsunoda, which he does. 0.3 for Yuki, 0.04. And Norris goes through. This is the crucial bit, though. Does Yuki dive bomb him into turn 6, and does he get DRS? The gap is 0.6. That's not enough for a dive bomb. And if the gap goes up now, then Yuki ain't going to do shit. And it goes down! This is very important for Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda. Lando's going to have much better braking and traction. Does Lando make it stick? Yes, he does. Yuki, you are useless. Checo Perez will forever be the GOAT and the Minister of Defense. He's already out of a second. He literally helped Norris. He literally helped him. He made no effort to defend whatsoever, as Max Verstappen comes into the pit, probably going on the one-stop strategy. Meanwhile, Lando is going to do a 2-stop, I imagine. So that's going to shake things up a bit, actually. But yeah. Max Verstappen's stop time is going to be a 2.3? 2.1 for Lando, 2.3 for Verstappen. That is class. Oscar Piastri now leads by 19 seconds. It's on average a 21-second pit stop loss. So right now, obviously, Verstappen's going to start undercutting Oscar Piastri. Piastri, I forgot his name already. And, well, Lando hasn't really gained off that. I assume they tried to undercut him, but the thing is, this is what I don't really get now, is that Lando stopped 7 laps earlier than Verstappen. Verstappen is one-stopping, because, you know, he's done 24 laps on the mediums, and, you know, there's 24 laps left. Oh no, there's 34 laps left. That's good maths from me. He can do that on medium, or hard, sorry. So, if Lando's 2-stopping, so is Leclerc, but then Tsunoda and Max and Piastri are all 1-stopping, then, you know, Lando's going to have to overtake Tsunoda. I forgot about my noodles. They are crispy. My condolences. Hello from Athens. Well, I just had a massive brain fart. That was weird. That's a great little place, you know. I might go there one day. I say that, isn't it the capital of Greece? What is the capital of Greece? Is it Athens? Oh, I don't know. That was a crazy brain fart, by the way. I literally read that message and just went like... Anyway. That's right. There you go. See, I'm really good at flags. Absolutely clueless about capital cities and, like... I mean, apart from a couple countries, you told me, like, oh, where's, like... Where is Greece on a map? I probably couldn't tell you. Actually, I could. But yeah, there you go. So no, to mess that up, he should have been like a blocking fool. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I was talking about. How he literally helped Norris, because he gave Norris DRS and didn't defend. Well, he obviously defended down the straight, but when you got DRS, you obviously can't. But he didn't, like, you know, at Perez, Hamilton got back past him, and then Perez dive-bombed him into turn 6 and got DRS. Sonoda didn't do that. Sonoda literally gave Norris DRS and buggered off. As he also, Lando Norris sets the fastest lap of the race at 28.3. Now, if Lando is two-stopping, he needs to basically pump in a good 20 qualifying laps, and then he should be good. Capital of Belgium. Genk? Is that in Belgium or is that in Croatia? Oh, I don't know. Might be. Let's see, was I right? Brussels? Of course it is. What an idiot. What? I don't know. I literally ran Brussels through my head and was like, nah, that's not Belgium. Of course it is. Duh. For some reason, I thought Brussels was the capital of Ireland. My brain is cooked. That's really bad. I only know Genk because the football team I support, West Ham, played them in a European competition. So that's like the only Belgian place I know. One Anderlecht. And a couple others. But yeah, I don't know why Brussels just... Woo! Not even in my headspace. Unlucky. Right. Lando sets another fastest lap of the race of 28.4. However, Leclerc is actually... How does that work? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, I just realised that's not... Why is this thing purple? It must not be updated. I've read it a bit more carefully. Lando's slow. Max went a 10th quicker. Leclerc went half a second quicker. That's not even his best lap. Oh, I don't know. It must not be updated. But the current fastest lap holder is actually Charles Leclerc with a 28 dead. So well done, Charles. I know I've said it already, but I'm so impressed with Leclerc so far. He might actually be my driver of the day. Saying that, though, Hamilton, he's 14 seconds back, having started like 17th. And he's up to 8th. And he's got, what? He's got one more stop left, unless he goes for an absolutely obnoxious one stop, which would be quite incredible. But Alex Albon and Hulkenberg both pitted, like, next to him. And now he's up there somewhere. He's up into P8. He's still got, what? 1, 2, he's got 3 drivers left to pit. One of them he's going to come out behind anyway. But the other 2, he'll be ahead of. So Hamilton will be up to P5, or P6 rather. As now Norris sets the fastest lap of the race. There you go, Norris. Now it updates. Good stuff. Norris puts in a 27.998, which is only half a tenth quicker than Leclerc's fastest lap, who previously held it with 28 dead. But Leclerc also does another 28 dead. Piastri at 29.3. I don't really know. I don't really get this McLaren strategy, because right now Piastri's going to come out behind Norris, but obviously Piastri's pace is going to be outrageous. But yeah, by the time Piastri pits, Max is going to be currently 6 seconds ahead, and Lando's going to be 1 second ahead. And Leclerc might get ahead as well. So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter for... I mean, I guess they're just trying to play the safety car game, aren't they? They're trying to keep Oscar out long, hope for a safety car, pit, he stays in the lead, he wins the race, and then just hope that Norris does shit, basically. You're right, Nick, in KRC. Five-second penalty for Norris. But better not be. The commentator said that Charles is fastest. He is currently fastest on track, yeah. I mean, look. Verstappen 28.3, Lando 28.2, Leclerc 28.1. Tsunoda almost crashed Lando out. Did he really? See, it looked on this, it looked really easy for Lando, but obviously on the broadcast it could have looked a lot different for him. World Cup, England is going to cook everyone. Oh, I couldn't disagree more. I mean, I know I'm from England, so I'm going to be pessimistic, but I think we're going to be awful. We haven't we haven't played good. We've only played countries that, you know, aren't very popular and not really football countries, like Albania and things. And any decent team we've played, we've been battered, so I don't think so. Oh, by the way. Oh, wait. Nose. Yuki Tsunoda has been given a 5-second penalty for more than one change of direction. So I assume that when you said that Lando almost got taken out, Tsunoda done some tomfoolery. Wait, hang on. We are now over halfway through the race, by the way. Oof. Well, to be fair, mate, I've just seen that streamer. He isn't broadcasting the race. He's just got a Google blocking the race. And as I predicted, you can't do that. It's illegal. You know Doku? Of course I know Jeremy Doku. To be fair, I do know a lot of footballers and teams they play for, mainly because of FIFA, to be fair. But there's a couple important things to note. Number one, Hamilton, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Antonelli, and Gasly all have 3 track limit violations. Obviously, once you get another one, you get a 5-second penalty. So Hamilton, Gasly, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Lawson, be careful now. Stewart's cleared Norris, but leaving the track and getting okay. So I assume that what's happened. I mean, this is an assumption, by the way. Lando's gone for the move. Tsunoda's pushed him off way too erratically, and then obviously what they've figured out is that Norris has literally had nowhere else to go. In fact, let me just actually go and look. Right, I'm just quickly watching the Tsunoda and Norris. So they go down the back straight with DRS. Tsunoda moving way too much. Tsunoda literally almost kills Lando Norris. Yeah, I can completely understand why Tsunoda's been given a penalty for that, because he's almost just killed Lando Norris. So yeah, I perfectly understand that from the stewards. Fair enough. Which I don't know. Lando could have definitely stayed on track, but obviously that's not going to be your first instinct. Yeah. Even so, even with that incident, Tsunoda didn't hold him up at all, so... Yuki pushed Norris off track, but Norris passed off track. Yeah, but he only passed off track because Tsunoda pushed him off the track. If Lando made a mistake, then fair enough, give Norris a penalty, but no. Ferrari should pit Charlie between 32 and 37, so that when Norris pits, he will go up to P3 and Norris loses. Honestly, yeah, that could be a thing. Hamilton black and white flag, yep, him. Actually, as we say that about Hamilton, he does pit. So Gasly, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Lawson, and Hamilton all have 3 warnings. One more and they get a penalty. But that's sort of the thing, really. What was I going to say? Yeah. I feel like if Leclerc was to pit first, they'd just pit Lando the lap after. And Leclerc ain't going to gain 3 seconds in 1 lap unless there's a bad pit stop on the McLaren side. As Max Verstappen puts in the fastest lap of the race at 27.8. Now, look at Hamilton. He done 24 laps on them hard tyres. We have got 25 laps left. So, no, that's... Yeah. So, Hamilton is actually going to do more laps on the medium than the hard. I don't get Ferrari's strategy. It's a great pit stop, though. 2.1. Ugh.
Okay, we have been given a 5-second penalty for moving twice on a defence of Norris. We've got a penalty for moving twice in defence to Norris. Head down.
Poor Yuki, I feel bad for him. He's being used as a lamb to try and win Verstappen the title, and he's just being unfairly treated. Like, not the penalty. The penalty's fair enough, but, like, just the whole year, it's quite sad. And as I say that, Yuki Tsunoda now comes into the pits for his first and only pit stop. See, this is where... I mean, to be fair, he's going to be what? Yeah, no, he's going to be... Oh, I don't know. Tsunoda didn't follow team orders. Well, he did. He did try and defend. He just didn't. Because he was too slow. I'm looking for any traffic that could be in the way. Antonelli. Yeah, Antonelli's gonna... I don't know. Oh, I hate Stotty nose. There's probably going to be a good, like, what, 5-10 laps until there's any traffic to worry about. Which I don't think that's going to really matter anyway. And also... Oh, never mind. I thought Leclerc was quite close to Norris because he's there on the map. But he's still 4 seconds back. Lost half a second last time around. So there's some things going on. Oscar is probably going to pit in the next 5 laps or so and go onto the mediums until the end. When he does, he'll be 6 or so seconds at the moment behind his teammate, and it will be 15 seconds. No, more than that. It will be 12 seconds. What? Yeah. Yeah, 12 behind Max, 6 behind Lando. But it obviously got fresh tyres. Lance Stroll still hasn't pitted. When he does, there's going to be a 13-second gap. Actually, Russell's nowhere. I didn't even realise. It's literally between Norris and Leclerc for the final podium to decide the World Championship. When Lando, if he pits again, which I assume he will, probably in another, like, 10 laps or so, he needs to come in either a little bit before Leclerc or a little bit after. Like, either, literally, like, if it is after, 1 lap after. That's all he can afford. And I'm just looking at gaps. So, if Leclerc was to pit right now, he would come out in between... He might actually just about get in front of... You know, he'll be in 7th, well clear of Alonso. So Leclerc will have clean air behind Russell. And then if Norris pits, he'll be 35 seconds back. So he'll be just behind Russell. So I think they wait for Russell to pit. And then they just get Lando in. Actually, I don't know. I'm trying to work out. I'm just not very smart. That's the problem. I'm really dumb. Max, Norris, and Leclerc, and maybe Russell all have to pit again. I mean, they probably could go to the end, but they'll be really slow. So, yeah. I think all Lando does, or McLaren does, is wait for Leclerc to pit. If he doesn't, stay out. If he does, just go in a lap after, and they'll be fine. Right, midnight. What's the strategy for Piastri? I suppose it's probably the simplest one here. He's going to stay out until a few laps time. They're still banking on a safety car, I think, and then they're just going to pit him for medium tyres, and obviously he's going to be absolutely rapid. He'll probably, right now, he'll come out ahead of Russell, but behind Leclerc by about 3 seconds. 8 seconds behind his teammate. And then, of course, by that point, he'll be really, 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 really quick, and he'll probably storm past back all of them to at least get up to P2, maybe even P1. Ferrari's getting ready with tyres. It's probably going to be Lando Norris, as Lando Norris does receive a team radio, and it's going to be this.
And Lando doing a great job compared to Leclerc. He might pit soon and go on a 2, in which case we cover in the next lap.
There you go. That's exactly what I said. Oi! Get me in the garage, mate. I'm class. It's me saying I'm thick as pig shit. There you go. Quite exactly. To be fair, I think even like a blind deaf person could figure that out. But yeah, that's literally what I said. If Leclerc goes for the 1 stop, Norris goes for the 1 stop. If Leclerc pits, pit the lap after. Oof. Did they basically just screw him by keeping him out so long? No, they... Yes, they did. They did screw Piastri, but their strategy does make sense. What they were trying to do is keep him out for ages and then bank on a safety car. If they get a safety car, he'll still come out P1. And if not, P2. And then he'll have fresh tyres, meanwhile Verstappen's on old tyres, to go and push and get the race victory. So, if there is a safety car, it's the best strategy there. If there isn't a safety car, then, you know, Piastri's going to be fighting for a 3rd or a 4th. If Norris pits 1 lap later, Charles will have warmer tyres. No, but he's way too far back. He'll probably gain 1 second from the undercut, because you got to think, Leclerc's spending his outlap also warming up his tyre. So when Lando pits, yes, Leclerc's going to have warmed up tyres, but he's going to gain at most like 1 second on Norris. So he'll get the gap down to like 3 seconds if he's lucky. And obviously, I mean, that's if the McLaren stop is good. If the McLaren stop is bad, then yeah, maybe. Quick update on the biggest winners and losers from the race so far. Biggest winner is Hülkenberg. I know Stroll's gained 9, but he hasn't pitted yet, so no. So yeah, Hülkenberg up 7 places. The biggest loser is Tsunoda, who served his penalty and is now down in P17 on what could be his final Grand Prix in Formula 1. Very sad day. I really like Tsunoda. I feel really bad for him because he's been an unbelievably good driver throughout the last sort of 2-3 years. And the start of this year, Oscar Piastri getting told, how's the tyre? The rear is starting to get a bit worse. Okay, they're probably going to bring Oscar in. I know they're banking on the safety car, but it gets to a point where you can't... You've got to bring him in so he can at least get 3rd, or probably 2nd, actually. He's going to be way quicker than Norris. And we are approaching the final 20 laps of this race. It's actually going a bit slower than I thought. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, we've been here an hour and 10 minutes, and there's still 20 laps left. So yeah, I do predict that Piastri's going to come in very soon. I mean, look at that. He was 1.4 seconds slower than Verstappen and 1.3 seconds slower than his teammate. Like I said, when Oscar pits, he will be, right now, let's say if he has a 2.5 second pit stop, he'll be 17 seconds behind Verstappen and 11 seconds behind Norris. And he'll be 3 seconds. Is that 16? He'll be 5 seconds behind Leclerc. So that's really the position with Oscar's strategy. Like I said, if a safety car came out, it's the best strategy you can have. But now everyone's sort of calmed down. I mean, the closest gap we've got right now is Ocon to Behrman, and then Hadjar to Hamilton, and then Tsunoda to Colapinto. If any of those don't result in contact, he's going to have to rely on a mechanical failure from someone to, you know, get that safety car. Or a red flag, of course. Alex Albon's been notified for potentially speeding in the pit lane, which doesn't really mean anything. He's literally last. And he's also been given a penalty. That's tough. I think also the issue for Oscar is Verstappen is on 24 lap newer tyres. Lando has got 16 tyre advantage on Oscar. The issue is that because obviously the cars have less fuel, that hard tyre is so consistent because Oscar is still lapping in the low 29s. But because he's worn his tyre and also lowered the fuel, his lap times are staying the same. Whereas Verstappen and Norris and Leclerc and Russell, even though Russell's a bit off it, Leclerc, Norris and Verstappen mainly, they've got the peak tyre performance and less fuel, so they can go even quicker. I think that's how that works anyway. I kind of just made that up. It sounds pretty good though, so I'll take it. Gap between Verstappen and Piastri is now 2.6. I predict in 2 laps, Max, or even in 1 lap actually, probably 2 though, Max is going to be within DRS. I imagine as soon as that happens, that's when they'll get Oscar in. But, you know, the more laps that go on, the further back Oscar's going to be. Now, this is obviously the thing. When Oscar does pit, he is going to be an absolute bullet. He is going to be 1 to 2 seconds a lap quicker than Verstappen, Norris and Leclerc. He might not be, to be fair, but there's a chance of it. And Oscar, there you go, 29.2. Verstappen, 27.6. That's another fastest lap of the race. Lando Norris, 28 dead. So, you know, Lando is way off Verstappen's pace, but he's much faster than Leclerc, and he's much faster than his teammate. And Leclerc makes that second stop. So now, Norris should come in the lap after, and then Oscar the lap after that. Although, actually, to be fair, Verstappen might pit this lap. Although, I don't know, though, because his pace is still extremely strong. But of course, you can't. You've got to cover off Leclerc. I mean, obviously, Lando needs third. He doesn't give a shit about second. So, he can let Oscar do what he wants. So yeah, I'm going to imagine that Norris pits this lap to cover off Leclerc. And then probably Oscar the lap after. To be fair, they do have the, you know, position to double stack. But, like, why? I just sort of brought it up. There's no real reason to. Leclerc's pit stop, by the way, is going to be... It's really nice, actually. It's going to be... Oh, and the survey says 2-second stop from Ferrari. That is huge for Leclerc. Comes out on the brand new medium tyre. Now, this is the time as Max Verstappen is now 7/10 behind Oscar. Surely they bring Oscar in. No, Oscar stays out. He is going to get done by Verstappen here, which is really bad. Unless they're sacrificing him for Lando, as Lando pits like I predicted. You alright, Marie? I tell you what, I hope, I'm not going to say anything yet, I don't want to jinx it. Leclerc, currently, 38.1, 37.9, he's quick, but he's not that quick, and he also is, Lando should come out ahead of Russell. Oh, and he does by miles. Okay, well, there you go, then. And Verstappen, I'm so sorry. I really should have been on that. Max Verstappen overtakes Piastri for the lead. I suppose I don't really mean much, because obviously, Max is currently 2 seconds a lap quicker than Oscar, so it doesn't really matter. However, did Oscar get DRS? I don't think so. So surely they bring in Oscar now. This is really important for Norris, though, because Leclerc now, he has to go through the trial and tribulation of overtaking George Russell. He'll probably do it really quick. That's not the point. He still has to do it, giving Norris even more time. Now, when Oscar pits, he will be 7 seconds, roughly, ahead of Lando. I'm still first. Well, to be fair, not many people watch the normal YouTube stream, so that makes sense. And Oscar Piastri does finally pit. I feel like he could go into a set of softs, but it will probably be the medium tyre. Lando Norris, yeah, like I said, is going to be about 7 seconds behind his teammate. But now they're both on brand new tyres, so I imagine it's going to stay roughly the same. Charles Leclerc getting backed up by Russell through this final sector, which is going to give Norris even more lap time. Currently, the gap is about 6.2 seconds. Am I watching on Sky Sports? I am on my phone at the bottom here. Obviously, I can't show it because it's illegal, but yeah, I have got it on. It's got a bit of a delay, though. 2 seconds for Leclerc and 2.4 for Norris. I'm telling you what, let's see Oscar's pit stop as well. Comes in, tyre off, tyre on, oof. The pit stops have been really good today. 2.1, 2.1, 2, 2.2 for the Ferraris, or for Leclerc, Norris and Piastri. I think Red Bull done a 2.2 as well. Really good standard from everyone. Well done. Considering, you know, Ferrari and McLaren are probably the 2 worst pit stop, you know, like, goers on the grid. That's very impressive stuff. Now, Lando Norris, really good undercut, by the way. 4.6 behind his teammate. However, you imagine Oscar, low fuel, brand new medium tyres, he's going to fall off into the distance. And also, I've just realised Lando has come out on brand new hards. Leclerc used mediums. I don't think I like that from McLaren. You have to imagine. Now, of course he's got medium tyres left. Why is he not pitted for mediums? Hang on, this is actually really bad for Norris. I mean, you know, basically at this point, Lando's got to, you know, put in some qualifying laps, and that's about it. I suppose also there is the part where Lando could get Oscar to slow down and give him DRS. But even so, Leclerc is going to catch Norris at this point. I mean, 27.2 to a 28.2, 1 second quicker on the previous lap. Of course, now Norris's tyres are warmed up. We'll see if it changes a lot. But I mean, why have they not put Norris on mediums? There must be a reason. We want to chase down Verstappen. I can imagine Oscar wants to do that, yeah. But he's not, obviously. The tyre advantage is going to be great, and the pace is going to be great, but it's a repeat of Qatar, really, isn't it? And look at this, Leclerc, 4.7. He's 0.3 a sector quicker. Earth. I'm a bit nervous. I'm very nervous for Lando Norris here. I'm sort of hoping that, you know, when we get to, like, the final couple of laps, you know, maybe Norris can find a bit more pace. But right now, Lando and Oscar aren't really showing much. But there you go. 17.4 for Lando, fastest sector 1. That's what he needs. I know I've already said it, but, excuse me, Lando needs 14 qualifying laps. His tyres... He doesn't have to worry about tyre wear at this point. He needs to gas it and hope for the best, because Leclerc is coming. Leclerc is his driver of the day. I think so. I mean, if you think about it, Lando, I think, underperformed massively. Oscar and Verstappen have basically just been, you know, good, but nothing really special. Leclerc, however, is in a really shit car. He's setting fastest laps, and he is maybe going to be in contention with beating Lando Norris and getting on the podium. In a Ferrari. And look at the gap he's doing on George Russell. I mean, it's clear the Ferrari's good. Hamilton's in the points. That's like back in the Red Bull days when Checo was there. If Checo was in the points, you knew the car was good. It's a bit like this. Hamilton's 9th. You know the car is good. But at the same time, where is this pace coming from? It's outrageous. He's 3 seconds a lap quicker than Russell. Max isn't pitting? No, he wouldn't want to. If Max pits right now, he'll come out behind Piastri. Or he'll be like next to Piastri. And then obviously Lando will be like closing in as well. There's no reason to. So yeah. There's a very real possibility, well, it's probably much guaranteed now, unless there's obviously a little Latifi moment, where Max Verstappen crosses the line in P1, but now it's just a battle between Norris and Leclerc. If we do I'm going to do some quick calculations. So it's 4.4. And there's, what, 13 laps left? Is that right? 13 laps? Yeah. Well, 14 including this. So, Leclerc has to catch Norris by 0.3 a lap. And he'll catch him up by the final lap. And he is currently not doing that. They were equal. Pretty much equal. Norris actually a little bit faster on the previous lap as Oscar sets the fastest lap of the race at 26.7. Considering, you know, at the start of the race, I know it's high fuel. They were in the 29s. We are now in the 26s. That's actually a crazy difference. 3-second difference over the space of, like, 20 laps. Oscar Piastri, Team Radio.
What's the picture in front? How do I win this race?
So Verstappen is on your pit stop window. He's doing 27.9.
That's very optimistic from Oscar Piastri. That's very optimistic. How do I win this race? You've only got to catch Verstappen by... Hang on, let me do the calculations again. 22... He's only got to catch him by 1.8 seconds a lap and then pass him. You can do that, Oscar, surely. Per previous lap, by the way, Lando, 26.9. Leclerc, 26.7. He was quicker. It's because Leclerc is genuinely a very good driver, so if he does something to win Max the title, he is cheating on his fiancée. Ugh, that's tough. No, I mean, it's like I said yesterday on stream. I know Lando has underperformed this year. People like to imagine he hasn't, but yes, he has. You look at 2022, 3, 1, any of his previous seasons, he has always been one of the elite. I think Oscar, Lando, Verstappen, Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, Alonso are all the elite. Like, they are the elite. And, you know, you might not even have to include Hamilton anymore. Maybe not even Alonso. So if you bin them off, which you can, but I wouldn't, I think those are the elite 5. And also, I find this quite funny. Pierre Gasly has gone off track 7 times. 7 track limits. Earth. Leclerc does not push this much in a red-coloured brick. No, I think the car's just working for a change. Which shows actually a big thing about F1, how it's all about the cars. You think, like, if Leclerc... I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but if Leclerc's in the McLaren, he'll probably win the championship. And same with Verstappen, but... How can I word it? It's like... Norris is driven badly by his standards, and he's still favourite to win the title with 10 laps left. So, imagine how good he would be if he was, like, his form from 2 years ago. It would be scary. Indeed, Leclerc has now got that gap down to 3.9, but it's just not enough. It might change, and it chops and changes quite a lot, but, yeah. Like, if I was to rate the current grid, I'd probably put Max first. I feel like that's obvious. I'd put Leclerc second. This isn't based on this season. It's based on all time. I'd put Verstappen first. Actually, no, not all time. I don't know. But, like, say, like, you get all of these drivers, you put them in a good car. Max wins, then Leclerc, then Russell, Norris, Piastri. That's how I'd rank them. But I think they're all so close to each other. I think Piastri's most improved. Norris has been most consistent. Verstappen's been just the overall fastest. I think that's my awards. Driver of the day currently, though, I would give to Leclerc. So there you go. Awards for all of them. And then Russell's just kind of there. I think McLaren screwed Piastri over again. I think so too. But they didn't screw him over, like, because they want Lando to win all that conspiracy bollocks. No, their strategy was leave Oscar out for a long time and beg and pray and dance for the rain gods for a safety car. Because if he had a safety car, he can pit, come out P1 on fresh tyres, and he'll win the Grand Prix. And then obviously, it's just whatever else does. It's not really down to him. He's done his job. But unfortunately, because the field spread has got a bit large, no one's really fighting. And, you know, mechanical failures, touch wood, are a rare thing nowadays. I mean, we've had like 2 the entire season. No safety car, all red flag came out, so it just didn't work. And it's like I said, if there was a safety car, probably the best strategy. If there wasn't a safety car, like there isn't, it's an awful strategy, and that's just how it goes. Leclerc won't catch Norris. It stayed about the same. In fact, it's going up a little bit. It stayed around 4.1, 4.2 for the last sort of 3 laps. Lando just keeps it consistent, keeps it on track, and he will be fine. As I'm watching Kimi Antonelli go for a move on Isaac Hadjar, and he gets it done. Nice swoop around turn 9. Good stuff. Michael Massey, please. He's gone, mate. He's on holiday in the Bahamas. He ain't... Yeah, he's gone. Also, I'm quite impressed with how Lando is staying with Oscar. Considering Oscar's on brand new mediums and Lando's on brand new hards, he's actually catching Oscar very briefly. Their mediums must be awful. Ugh. Ugh. Safety cars are so rare these days, and Verstappen has a free stop. Yeah, that's why the strategy's stupid, but I suppose when you got nothing to lose, you gotta give it a go. Turn out to 21, and that's what I mean, is that after 21, Massey got fired, and now he's gone. This track isn't known for too many safety cars. It's not really, is it? I think it's because, I think Fernando Alonso said that this track is so easy that it's quite difficult to crash. Apart from, obviously, Sector 3, they're just straight lines. I mean, look at... Turn 5 is a straight line. Turn 6 is a straight line. They're all just straight lines. Obviously, the only technical section is the final sector. Where, you know, Latifi done his thing. Mod promo? No, that's a stream bot that links all my socials. All good. I finally set one up. I think, actually, I know there's an important championship beside it, but if I do this... Never mind then. Oh, there you go! Off! Burn! My bad. There ain't nothing to, you know, be sorry for. Most people don't know what Stream Elements is, but yeah, it's just a chat bot, so you can type commands and stuff, and every sort of 10 minutes it reminds you to follow my socials. Trying to get 1k on TikTok so I can stream on there, that'd be nice. But yeah, final 7 laps of 2025. What a season. I know it's a good season because McLaren have been awful in bottle jobs, but overall, the twists and turns that this season has had. After Zandvoort, you thought Oscar Piastri was going to win the championship. 5 races later at Brazil, Lando Norris was favourite. And then, you know, Las Vegas, they get disqualified. Qatar, the strategy. And now, there's only 12 points in the difference. Lando had, like, what was it, a 20... What was it, like a... I don't remember. It was a... Wasn't it like a 40-point gap to Verstappen? And then a 27-point gap to Oscar? And within 2 races, it went from that to Verstappen being 12 points behind and Piastri 16 points behind. That's actually interesting. I never knew there was a bot for that. Yeah, no, you get chat bots. That's a very common thing for streamers to have, just so you can have a bit of info and stuff. I mean, there's like... Yeah, I got a few commands. This championship comes down to those 2 points last week. I mean, yes, but there's also probably 1,000 different moments. I mean, obviously, Lando doesn't get disqualified in Vegas. He wins. Like, already, he wouldn't need to bother with this race. He could go home. As we see a Lando Norris team radio. It's a long one.
So Lando doing a fantastic job here, mate. Everything's looking good. There's 5 racing laps, including this one, we think. What are your thoughts on soft or staying out on this hard?
I mean, I think a softer would be better. It's just, you know, the safety car gets delayed or something that becomes the issue.
Oh my! They actually just discussed like a 2021 scenario where if there was to be a safety car right now, they would stay out or come in for softs. I mean, you suppose you have to, but I do find that quite funny. I used to watch your streams until I saw yours, and that's quite nice. Norris, Daddy, I'll be down bad for you to lose this championship. It looks like no one's catching Max. No, no one's catching Max. He made the one-stop work. And Oscar banked on a safety car. It hasn't come in his pit window. It still might, which would be really sad. And there you go. Lando still massively catching Piastri here. Leclerc, gap is going up, but very slowly. I really hope there isn't a safety car for the pure fact that I can't be bothered. Are they manifesting an Oscar crash? Surely not. Verstappen gets his first track limits of the race, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's his first one. There you go. But no, I mean, you look at the entire season, there have been so many moments where, you know, some drivers have lost 2 points, gained 2 points, or, I mean, obviously the big ones is Vegas, Qatar, and Zandvoort. I did some calculations. You know, if Lando didn't have the DNF in Zandvoort, which is entirely mechanical, Canada was his fault, so I'm not including that, and obviously Vegas and Qatar, he'd have won the championship in Vegas. So it's not really down to Norris's driving as such. Yes, he's underperformed compared to previous years, but he's still driven the car, and here he is, despite 2 DNFs that are not his fault, well, a DNF and a DSQ, and he's still coming through now to win the championship. Touch wood, pray, everything. So yeah, I mean, fair play. But I suppose because it's in recent memory, it was literally last week, you do have to look at that Antonelli mistake. Because, I mean, obviously at the moment, if Lando had 2 points less, then Norris and Verstappen would be on equal points, the exact same, and Verstappen would win on countback because this would be his 8th Grand Prix win, and Norris and Piastri both have 7. And also, I've done some random fun calculation as well. There's been some talk on like social media about how Verstappen's never really had a competitive teammate since Daniel Ricciardo. And especially since he's been in like a championship winning car. Which is true. Tsunoda's currently in 13th. And, you know, and Quali gave Max a slipstream and in the race tried to hold up Norris and got himself a penalty for it. And, well, I did some calculations and basically I took Oscar Piastri out of the championship. Or I made him so Norris always finished ahead. Norris would have around 530 points right now and would have won the championship about 6 races ago. So it just goes to show that, you know, if Verstappen had a good teammate, maybe he wouldn't win the championship in that McLaren if he had Piastri or Norris as a teammate. But we don't know, because it hasn't happened. But we have 5 laps remaining, including this one. And it is actually quite funny how, start of the year, first sort of 5-6 races, I was locked in. And then I stopped watching F1 from sort of like May kind of area, maybe even a bit earlier, like mid-April, all the way until September. The only race I watched was a British Grand Prix. That was it. I didn't watch any of the others. And because Sergio Perez came back to F1, we are now here, manifesting, cooking, streaming, near enough every day, locked in, and hopefully, touch wood, I get to watch Lando Norris win a world title. Because if Checo didn't come back, I wouldn't give a shit. I just wouldn't watch F1 anymore. So, shout out Checo Perez. I'm wearing his hat currently. There it is. I'm not sure what's happened to Leclerc. I imagine the mediums are going off a little bit. But he's dropped back 4 seconds in the last sort of couple of laps. Lap 55. 4 laps to go. Lando might even get close enough to have a go at his teammate. I don't think he would take that risk. But, I mean, maybe on the final lap, they'll let Lando go through in case there's any drama or something. But, you know, there's not really a point. I'll tell you what, though, this helps out Oscar in the head-to-head, in the race head-to-head, at least. So that's good for him. Can anyone catch Max? It's basically impossible. No. No one could catch Max since the start of the race. I mean, Max has virtually led, or basically led, the entire race. So we have another Lando Norris team radio.
Is he struggling with Brady?
For Oscar, it's more the rears.
He sounds very calm, considering he's 3 laps away from a world championship. We are here because of other people's failures. That's exactly what it is. I mean, if McLaren run their team like Red Bull, they would have picked up the drivers, like I said, probably 6 races ago. But because of their incompetence, Vegas, Zandvoort, Canada, Qatar, even here for Oscar, their strategies this season have been so awful that, and obviously the fact they've got 2 really competitive drivers who are very, very close to each other, it's been quite difficult. Black and white flag for Alex Albon. 1 more track limits and he'll get a penalty. Same with Antonelli and Leclerc, by the way. Leclerc now signs to re-catch Norris, but obviously it's not enough. Lando now approaching some traffic alongside his teammate, Franco Colapinto and Pierre Gasly, followed by Liam Lawson. Of course, we'll see all of these drivers next year, alongside Isaac Hadjar getting promoted to Red Bull. I really do hope he's good in Red Bull. I want him to break the Red Bull curse for no particular reason, just because I'm quite sick and tired of really good drivers and rookies just getting their F1 and their motorsport careers ruined before they turn 25 because, you know, of a toxic team environment. I hate it. I love Red Bull. I loved Red Bull when Checo was there. Even he got mistreated. Like, it's bad. So I hope he breaks the curse, and obviously, he's not going to be near Max, but just somewhere near. And then, of course, we look through the rest of the grid. Alex Albon's knocking about, same with Antonelli. Most of the grid's unchanged, to be fair. Obviously, Tsunoda's getting dumped for Hadjar, and Arvid Lindblad is going to Racing Bulls to replace Hadjar. Hulkenberg staying, Sainz is staying, Bortoletto is staying, Stroll, Behrman, Hamilton, Ocon, Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, Norris. Basically, the entire grid is the same, except Tsunoda's gone, Lindblad is in the Racing Bull, and Hadjar's in the Red Bull, and of course Cadillac, and that's it. Those are the only changes. You're right, DHL. Papaya rules has to be the worst. It's not, I wasn't really talking about that. That's been fine. It's just, their strategies are so bad. They've had some bad pit stops, and like I said, Vegas, which they, you know, got both their cars disqualified in a Drivers' Championship. And now, this is very important, we begin the final lap of the 2025 season. If Lando Norris keeps it on the racing track, he will cross the line as a world champion of the world in Formula 1 world of the world. I want to quickly get it up on my monitor here, just so I can, you know, hear the emotion and the celebration in the commentary. Give me a second. I don't think you lot can see it, right? No, good. So I can't see chat for a brief moment, but I'm about to watch it. And of course, Lando's going to get the #1 car as well. And here we go. Max Verstappen makes his way around turn 9. Got a lot of traffic. Max Verstappen has driven absolutely phenomenally the last 3 races. And he is going to come home to take his 8th win of the season. He won more races than both McLaren drivers, which is very impressive stuff. He comes around turn 16, and Max Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and rounds off the 2025 season. Oscar Piastri gets one final nod over his teammate, but that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Lando Norris is driven decently. He has been unbelievably good in the last 5 or 6 races. He rounds the final corner, and we have a new world champion. Go on! Lando Norris Norris is the 2025 champion of the world. He's the 11th British champion. Come on! Boom! I've got goosebumps. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I think I'm getting emotional. Nah, that's unreal. Thing is, like I said, he hasn't even driven that good, to be fair. But he doesn't need to. He done what he had to do. Well done, Lando. It's like I said, I still can really decide. If Lando won, great. If Max won, great. But now that it's actually happened and Lando has won, it's like, no, if Max won, I would have been a little bit pissed. And like I said, not because I prefer, I mean, I do, how can I word it? It's like, if Lando had already had a couple and Max had a couple, I wouldn't give a shit who won. But because Lando hasn't won one yet, and Verstappen has 4, that's the only reason that made me side with Lando. If Max had none, Lando had none, or Lando already had 1 and Max had 1, I wouldn't care who won, I'd be happy. Even if, I'll probably be rooting for Piastri, if anything. It's purely for the fact that he's British, he's great, and he hasn't won yet, and that's literally it. So fair play, Lando Norris, you are the world champion, I believe. He's the 11th champion of the world from Britain. Well done, everyone. What a season. Oh, he's crying. Oh, isn't that sad? You know, I'll let you lot listen to this radio as well. It's quite nice. I hate McLaren pit wall, by the way. They're useless, but this is great. They gave him the car, so valid. Why has my mobile phone got so much better FPS than my monitor? That doesn't make any sense. But here you go. Lando Norris after winning the championship.
That's it, mate. You are world champion. World champion. Well done, mate. I'm so proud.
Lando, this is Zach from McLaren. Is this the world champion hotline?
Yeah.
You did it!
Thank
You did it! Awesome!
Oh, thank you guys. Oh my god. You made a kid's dream come true. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. You deserve.
I mean, to be fair, it's like, oh, I can't even listen to the rest of the radio because Max has one. I mean, to be fair, he hasn't really bottled anything. First half of the year he struggled, but was still winning the odd race. Canada was obviously a bottle job, and Saudi Arabia qualifying. I think Bahrain as well, I didn't really remember much of them. Obviously, the main bottle jobs is Canada, and probably Qatar as well. Rest of the season, he has been second best, or the best. Well, compared to his teammate. Obviously, Max has been by far the best driver overall. Oh, and that's a nice thing. You got Lando and Max both doing donuts on the grid. That's nice. That's nice. And you cry? Oh, that's a great reference to bring up, actually. I like that. Well done. But yeah, no, it's like I said, he's driven probably his... Not his worst, of course. How can I word it? It's like, compared to the last few years, he has been a bit under the weather. Then came Singapore, and from there, dominated Mexico, 30-second win, won in Brazil, got second in Vegas, which no one predicted. And then, of course... Qatar was a bit shit, and Abu Dhabi was a bit shit as well, but he done what he needed to do. Max Verstappen Team Radio, let's see what his reaction was. 2 points, that's it.
Max, you have given everything. You can be proud of that, mate. Hold your head up high.
We showed that one final time in this class. Congrats, guys, for the back and that second half of this season. We can be really, really proud of that. So don't be too disappointed. I'm definitely not disappointed. I'm really proud of everyone to never give up.
that's nice, you know? I mean, I know Max said before the race he's really got nothing to lose. He's won 4 of them, and his attitude is very like, well, I've won 1, so everything else is kind of a bonus, and that's literally been his mindset. But, yeah, no, to basically just say, like, oh, well done, guys. I mean, to be fair, he won the race. He dominated the race. No one was even close to his pace this entire race. Nice rhythm, that. And, yeah, he basically just won really easily. He can't do anything more. He had to rely on a blunder from Norris or McLaren, which didn't happen. So he literally done the best he could do. So I suppose that reaction makes sense. But still, to say after not winning and losing out by 2 points, and it's the same. You say, you know, Antonelli is the reason Lando won. What about Max in Spain? If Max doesn't have that temper tantrum and crash into Russell, he gets those extra 2 points. There are so many scenarios. Even Oscar, that massive dip in form. That's why this season has been so good, because there's been so many moments throughout the entire season where one little thing that could have been different could have changed the entire championship. But to be fair, I feel like it has ended in the best way possible, because we've had an intense finale. Think, like I said, Zandvoort or even Vegas, one of those doesn't happen, Lando wins in Qatar or even Vegas, and this final race means nothing. Whereas, we've gone down to the final race, there's 3 drivers in contention, there's pressure, there's excitement, Lando's a bit slow, Leclerc's really quick, and at the end of it all, Lando Norris is the world champion. Let's go. And of course, to end the season in, you know, prime form, Lance Stroll's under investigation. That is fantastic. But there you go. That is a 2025 season over and done with. Lando looks like he's about to break down, which is nice, to be fair. I do like seeing others being really happy. That's good stuff. Well, my plans basically go as follows. Of course, there's no F1 until, well, sort of February next year. Of course, winter testing. I don't think I'll be doing watch-alongs of testing, because they're like 8 hours long. But of course, it's, late February, early March until the new season gets underway, which I will hopefully be back doing watch-alongs, so obviously Checo Perez is there. But pretty much, now there's no F1 to watch, I want to try and up the amount of streams I'm doing playing the F1 game. Of course, when there's no F1 on, people might turn to the F1 game a bit more. When it's the off-season, it's boring. There's nothing really going on unless, obviously, you're interested in other sports, which I'm not really. Apart from darts, of course. Darts World Championship in a couple of days. Go on. But yeah, so... yeah, I don't really know what to say. I think I want to do an outro, but to be honest, I might just wait until they do the podium, to be honest, because, you know, that's still a moment that I want to watch, because, yeah. Lando's mum hugged Piastri, my heart melted. Me too! I love seeing all the happy emotions, it's nice. I'm kind of emotional, I did not expect that. Well, he's still kind of young, isn't he? Not really, he's 25, but like, it's his first... I mean, look at Max. When Max won his first, he was screaming on the radio. Literally, Lando was just like... weeping. Max was screaming. He's going to. The way that all ended in the season, his season was way more competitive than Lando's. But even so, yeah. Even Coulthard's chucking up a couple tears. Look at that. Oh, I'm so patriotic. Ollie Behrman, by the way, gets a 5-second penalty at the end of the race, which demotes him to P12. If he didn't do that, he would actually finish in the points. Ocon, by the way, really strong race. I feel like I haven't gone through the rest of the grid. Leclerc is still my driver of the day for keeping up with the McLarens throughout the entire race. He finished 25 seconds ahead of Russell in the end, who finishes P5. Fernando Alonso finishes P6, a really good end to the season. Esteban Ocon P7. Hamilton finishes P8. That's good for him. Hulkenberg P9 gets into the points. Really good race by him. And Lance Stroll nicks a point in the end in P10 because of Ollie Behrman's penalty. Bortoleto finishes 11th, Ollie Behrman 12th, Sainz 13th, Tsunoda 14th after getting a penalty and trying to kill Lando Norris, Antonelli 15th, which is really disappointing considering how good he's been recently. I guess, what's that thingy? When like iron dioxide or something is tolerable, he's really good or something like that. Imagine winning your first world championship and immediately having to do interviews. I'd kick off. I'm going home. I'm getting on the boozer and I'm going on a yacht somewhere. Lewis Hamilton +8 in a Ferrari. Earth, you're right, Earth. To be fair, it didn't work out for Albon, but Hamilton and Hulkenberg both went soft, hard, medium. And even though Hamilton pitted 11 laps earlier than Hulkenberg, it worked out really good for both of them. Hamilton almost caught up to Ocon as well, who did a one-stop. So that's a good comeback. I mean, to be fair, the car was good. Look at Leclerc. He hasn't been that high in ages, or felt, you know, he hasn't looked that quick in ages. He was quicker than the McLarens at one point. Oh, his whole family turned up. Oh, that's made me even more emotional. He's got literally his entire bloodline with him. Nice race. I mean, it looked like a nice race. I'm only watching this dot thing, so I don't know. But it did look really good. That's a great tweet. look at this. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
Should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in.
Oh, what a day. Krim, can I see your XP? I can. You have 225, mate. Well done. I'll leave it. I'll see you later, Silachana. Thanks for hanging for the entire race. That was good stuff. What a race. Oh, I love that. My mother must have really, she doesn't mind Lando Norris, but she really wanted, but actually to be fair, my mate who's into F1 and my mother both wanted Max to win. I'm the only one that wanted Lando to win. Lando is champ, my dream came true. It's kind of the same for me, to be honest. I mean, it's like I said, I didn't think that... I mean, I was still trying to decide between Max and Lando who I was rooting for. That's why I've got the Red Bull hat. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see, hang on. That way. It says number 11, so it's a Checo Perez hat, but it's a Red Bull hat nonetheless. And a McLaren hoodie. Because I didn't know, I was stumped. But now that the race is finished, I definitely wanted Lando to win more. You could argue that Lando should have won it yonks ago. I'd argue, yeah, he should have, but not because of him. He has won this race, won this championship because he's got jets. Max and Lando, not Max and Lando, Lando and, he's in Lando, dickhead. Max and Piastri are just sat in the cool-down room by themselves. Lando isn't even there. That's funny. Wait, is he there? No, he's literally not there. Oscar asked him if Max tried to back everyone up. Nice. I love that. Driver of the day goes to Max Verstappen as well. It makes sense. He led from the lights. Didn't, you know, was not under threat. The only time he was under threat when was, you know, Oscar got told to up the pace a little bit. And apart from that, Max was just... Boo! I mean, my vote goes to Leclerc. I tell you what, though, one thing you got to rate Lando for is how aggressive he was during the race. I understand, you know, the drivers he overtook, which was what? Pretty much everyone. Stroll. Oh, Max is watching his teammate trying to kill Lando and he's smiling. That's nice. But yeah, he overtook a load of, you know, much slower cars on slower tyres. The point is, in Qatar and even other races during the championship, I know Singapore was one of them, Lando would not try and overtake in fear of DNFing with his title over. This race, though, Lando sent the bastard. He overtook so many cars in a double overtake on Lawson and Stroll, dive bomb Anthony like Max did, excuse me, in 2021. So yeah. I know Max said he doesn't really care, but I'm surprised how, like, chill he is. He literally does not care that he lost. I suppose he won the race, like, why would you be? But, like, he's not showing one bit of thing. Like, he's joking with Lando, like, oh, you're gonna have a long night now, oh, did you sleep much? Even though he lost the title. By 2 points, by the way, that was it. 2 points. 13 points between the top 3. 2 points between the top 2. Outrageous stuff. Well done, everyone. Well done. I mean, yeah, well done, everyone. Well done, the drivers. That was a great season. Not just the top 3, but everyone. You know, Russell getting a couple of race wins, Leclerc a couple of podiums, Hamilton's sprint win in China. You had Hulkenberg podium, Hadjar podium, Ollie Behrman 4th in Mexico. Sainz's 3 podiums, being dead ass. Like, what do you mean 3? I know one was a sprint, but still 3, that's outrageous. And, yeah, unbelievable season. So, so good. Right, I think we'll call it there because there's literally nothing happening. Right, Moise? I can see your name, Brandon. I'm sorry for not looking. I'm just watching the broadcast. I like seeing all the talk and all that. I'm a Max fan, but I'm happy for Lando. That's the best way I could... Actually, no, I can't word it in a way that makes sense, but I'm an equal fan of Max and Lando. The only reason I wanted Lando to win is because he hasn't won yet. That's it. Like I said, if Max has, like, 2 titles and Lando has 1, or whatever, if Max has 4 like he does, Lando won last year, and Max has 3, I'd probably root for Oscar. It's just, yeah. Lando steps onto the podium as a world champion. Obviously, he finished 3rd, so he comes out first. If anything works better for him, get a bit of aura. He is so short, my goodness. I'm probably the same height as him, and I'm a fat bastard. I'm so pissed. If you haven't watched the race, watch it. I mean, I've been sat here for the last hour and a half watching it on stream, so yeah, I have. I hate Lando. Max has 4, not 3. No, I meant, like, if Lando won last year, then Max would have 3. Then obviously Max would have 3, Lando would have 1, and I'd root for Oscar. My point is that the only reason I rooted for Lando this season is because he hasn't won yet, and that's the only, like, dynamic. I don't prefer one driver to the other. No, I've watched every single race for the last 4 years. I know everything about Max Verstappen. Of course, he's won 4. It is quite... I know, obviously, it makes sense, but it is funny seeing, like, quite a lot of people, actually, I'd say the majority in my chat, just really not wanting Lando to win, which is fair enough, but you do have to point out that there's been a very high trend of people hating Lando Norris for no real reason. It's a bit like, same with Tsunoda and Checo Perez. It's just pointless, and then people hop on the bandwagon because it's popular. But yeah, it's just funny how people wanted Lando to win really bad, and I feel like even my friend who's into F1 and my mother wanted nothing more than Max to win, whereas I wanted Lando to win. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I'm the different. It's a disgrace. How can they let cheaters win the champion? I mean, the only cheating thing they done was their plank, which they got disqualified for, which is the only reason they came to Abu Dhabi. So, if anything, get rid of Max's 2, because he cheated in 2 of them. So, if you want to play cheating to cheating, then there you go. To be fair, me and you, Brandon, we're the only ones, you know, that wanted Lando to win. Fair play. Great national anthem, by the way. Both the Dutch one and the Austrian one, there's some great national anthems. Obviously, Britain's better, but they're not bad. I'm at the stands watching the race? No, you're not. I mean, it was quite boring, to be fair, but that's incredible, really. If that is true, which I do believe, yeah. He didn't cheat in 21. Hamilton was a very reckless driver. No, I mean... No, my point is that you're calling McLaren cheaters for not doing anything. So if you want to play that game, then Verstappen cheated in 21 by breathing air, and he also cheated in 22 because of the cost cap. I don't believe those. I'm a massive Max Verstappen fan. It's just if you want to say McLaren are cheating when they've not done anything, and the things they have done they've been punished for, then that's how you're going to play it. I'm a level of annoyed that means I'd type rather calm. Fair enough. Can I play career later? Probably not. I'm very tired. But we'll see. What about Monza? That wasn't a cheat. That was just really stupid. That's different. I still think Lando... I still think they should have done what they did. But obviously, in hindsight... Just don't have a shit pit stop, or don't let Lando pit second. Bosh. Problem solved. I'm a Piastri fan, and as much as I wanted to have a pastry... yeah. I mean, it's like I said. I like Piastri as well. I like all the drivers and teams. I like them all, apart from Red Bull and Mercedes as teams. I like their drivers, just not the teams. But yeah, so it's like I said. The reason I chose Lando is because he hasn't won. If Lando won last year, I'd probably be rooting for Piastri. Even though he's Australian and I'm British, and Lando's British, I'd probably choose Piastri. It's a bit like if you had Max, Piastri, Russell, I'm picking Verstappen, Piastri, Russell in that order. So there you go. McLaren weren't punished enough, and they were dealing with Mercedes, like when Antonelli let both drivers through. Ah, okay, so you're one of those that just... look at Twitter and go, well, obviously that's the truth. You carry on thinking that, mate. You know, you can. I don't... No one cares. There you go. What a season. I was expecting you to say something, like, technical, and you come out with... Antonelli let them through in Qatar. If anything, it should be the other way round. McLaren are a customer team of Mercedes. McLaren should be letting Mercedes through, so I don't know. It's just, yeah, Twitter. We all know Verstappen was the better driver in the worst car. Well, yeah. Yeah. No one's denying that. Pretty much everyone agrees Verstappen's the better driver. Worst car is wrong. Throughout the entire season, yes, McLaren have been clearly fastest, but Abu Dhabi, Red Bull fastest. Qatar was McLaren. Vegas, Red Bull. Brazil, Red Bull. Because as we know, if Verstappen was way quicker than Norris the whole race. But even if you want to argue McLaren, sure. Point is, no. McLaren overall, yes. But for most of the races in the second half of the season, Red Bull have been equal, if not better. But that's nothing to take away from Verstappen. He has been by far the best driver of the season by a whole other level. McLaren pace in Qatar was better. Yeah, that's what I just said, mate. Let's open our ears wide. These are the type of guys that watch DTS and act like he knows the most. No, it's just, when you get people that spend their lives on Twitter, or social media, they don't actually watch races or look too much into depth. They're focused more on driver personalities than actual on-track, skill. You come up with these opinions that just don't really make any sense. Well, they used to, like, all you had to say was Lando only won because Antonelli let him through. That's fine, but also Lando won because he drove well in Brazil and Mexico and loads of other races. And like I said, there are hundreds of moments that you can look through and go, yeah, that could have decided the championship for either driver. Like I said, Zandvoort, Oscar, 32-point lead or whatever it was, 34-point lead, favorite for the championship. Just stay around. You'll be fine. By Brazil, Lando's ahead, 40 points ahead of Max, 27 or so ahead of Oscar. It ends with Max within 2 and Oscar within 13. And like I said, Vegas doesn't happen, Lando wins in Qatar. Zandvoort doesn't happen, Norris wins in Qatar. Something else happens, Max wins. Oscar doesn't, drop out of form, Oscar wins. It could have literally been any of them. My opinions are for what's in the race, well, I suppose that's fair enough, but, it's not really an opinion, it's wrong. Use a different word then. Don't say cheating, because that's got its own definition. Just say, like I said, Antonelli going off and Lando going through, won in the title, because that's valid. But you can't say, oh, McLaren are cheating because they told Antonelli to let him through, because why would you do that? Antonelli and Mercedes are literally in a constructors fight with Red Bull. They didn't have much of a chance, but still, they were in it. Jensen is hosting the... He is. I'm currently watching it. I love Jensen. Second favourite driver. What a guy. This is a disgrace. Well, deal with it, basically. Nice. Right, I think I'm going to head off here because I think we've covered everything. Well, what a season. I'll be back. Probably tomorrow, actually. Of course, now there's no F1. I'll be doing a lot more, like, career mode on the F1 game and shit, and we'll go from there. 2026 is soon upon us. And so is Sergio Perez's return. I cannot wait. Unreal stuff. Right, I'll see you a lot tomorrow. Maybe the day after. I don't know yet. We'll see how I feel. Thank you for watching. Great race. Great season. And I will see you lot. Actually, we'll do this thing. I'll see you a lot tomorrow whenever. Goodbye.
Planning to waste my time. To my surprise, that was her reply. Now we vibe. It's been a while and such a ride, the stars align. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. I love the fact I didn't let her go. She loves the fact that I just let her know. Now we're together, it's a different mode. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She loves the fact that I just let her know. We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role. She my do or die, my bona fide. My up when I'm down, she's always beside